don't kill us when we get there. So his disciples said unto him, verse 8, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again? Them old Jews that got power, authority, that could give the command to kill you, them the ones that want to kill you, not the ones that got to go ask for permission. The older Jews look to stone you, and you want to go back there. We are definitely going to die when we go, is what they're thinking. And Jesus answered in verse 9, said, Are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he see the light of this world. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light in him. He's talking about doubt. Feel like he's talking about, okay, let's travel during the day and hide at night. But that ain't what he's saying. What he's saying is, in the midst of this situation, see the light in it, see the good in it. Don't worry about the darkness you think is staying there waiting for us. If you travel in that, you're going to travel in fear all the time. You need to travel in confidence. Understand that we are children of the light. We can handle this. So it says in verse 10, but if any man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light in him. These things he said, and afterwards he said to them, he needed to confirm with them. He said, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go that I may awake him out of sleep. He's telling them now, look, don't worry about you dying. I'm getting ready to go and resurrect him. He's already at death. I'm getting ready to bring him back. Surely if I'm going to bring him back, I can keep us from dying too. We ain't got to fear it. But look at how they think, because they're looking at possibility now. They haven't seen Christ get crucified and resurrected yet. So this is where they're possible. Their presumption is right here. In verse 12, the disciple then said to his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, he should do well. How we got to go? It's good. If he dead and he ain't got to worry about them trying to kill us, why bring him back for him to face death some more? He's already overcome it. So let's just chill.
Go ahead.
Send him a text message. Just chill, hey. Our condolences. Don't come back. They still trying to kill us. So him seeing that, he realized, okay, they really don't understand what I'm saying. It says in verse 13, howbeit Jesus spake of his death, but they thought he had spoken of him taking a rest and sleep. So in 14, he had to come back and just put this thing in stone. Then Jesus said to them plainly, Lazarus is dead. He's already dead, and I'm going back to bring him back. So don't worry about us dying. I got this. Just where your faith at? You thought you had faith in me, but you really only had faith in what you seemed possible for me to do. Not in my impossibility. And again, remember, faith does the impossible. Faith is an impossible action. It's not something that you can say, okay, I see how this can happen. Go ahead. So after he told them that in 15, he said, I'm glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent ye may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. He told the disciples now, I'm glad Lazarus is dead, and I'm glad that I wasn't there when he died. Because if I was there when it happened, you wouldn't believe that he was resurrected. You could have thought we kind of put this together or something. Now you know I had nothing to do with any of that. Kill that doubt that you have. Lazarus dead, and now we're getting ready to go and do what God would have for us to do at this point. So he said, where are we at now? He said, Lazarus is dead. Now, nevertheless, let us go into him, verse 15. And look at what they said. Look at what Thomas said in 16. Then said Thomas, after all of this talk, all of this conversation about Lazarus being dead and me resurrecting him and us not dying, and I got this and I'm going to handle this and you with me so you all right. Look at what Thomas said, doubting Thomas. Look at what Thomas said. Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow disciples, let us also go that we may die with him. We don't die. He dead. Christ over here talking some gangster ride or die stuff. We get ready to die too. Let's just go and ride so we can die. But that's what's going to happen anyway. Even willing to follow through your presumption, even though you don't believe it's going to take place. That's how strong it is. It'll seem like faith if you let the world twist it. You'll think that your presumption is faith. It's not. Presumption is just what you see God able to do. And it's a limit, I'm telling you. it will always have you with just enough. You'll always be week to week. You'll always be fighting this. You'll always be going through because you're presuming that this is what you need. This is all I need to get through. If I can just get this, if I can just get that. God ain't a just get God.
Go ahead.
God want to give you all. He said the cattle of 1,000 hills are mine. It's yours. Everything is mine. We just got to get to the point where we understand that faith is what it takes to do it. So Thomas at this point is saying, okay, let us go down with him. Then Jesus, when he came, let me speed this up. Jesus, when he came, he found that he had lain in a grave for 4 days already. Lazarus. By the time he got there, Lazarus had been dead in the grave for 4 days. Wrapped up like a mummy, mummified. That's how they did it. Wrapped him up in the grave, stone in front of it, 4 days. Done. Cooking. And as you get ready here, stinking. Yeah. He was good and dead. He wasn't just getting dead. He had been there for a minute. So it said he lay in a day worse than that. He lay in a day grave for 4 days. Now Bethany was nigh to Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off. And many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. This is where all the people are coming to comfort you in your death, because they know that you're dead and there's nothing else that's going to happen. It's like when you're going through a situation. Let's say you get laid off. And instead of people coming to encourage you, they say, yeah, it's finna get hard now. How you gonna pay your bills? How you gonna do this? Yeah, it's finna get hard now. I pity you. I pray that you be able to withstand this, because you finna lose everything. That's what they were doing when they came to him. They were comforting. You don't want nobody comforting you in your situation. Don't be telling me that I'm bad as it look. Tell me that I'm gonna make it through it. That's not comfort. That's just you gloating in everything that I'm going through. So it said all the people had came to comfort her. Then Martha, in verse 20, then Martha, as soon as she heard it, that Jesus was coming, went and met him. But Mary sat still in the house. When, as close as Mary was to Christ, she was so upset about Christ not coming that she didn't even want to go see him. She was so upset about him not coming and saving her brother that she was fed up with him. She was through with him for that minute. Because in her mind, she felt like if you were here when it took place, you could have stopped this. You could have. You have no more power now. You are powerless when it comes to death. But if you were here, you could have stopped it. You could have turned this around. You could have made this different. So it said Mary wouldn't even go. Then Martha said unto Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. Martha said, I'm going to tell him what's on my mind. Martha, another Pastor Eric. Exactly what it is you don't want to hear. I'm going to tell you. Martha said, I'm not going to act like I can't go see what you want. I'm going to come and I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. Had you been here, he wouldn't have died. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it to thee. Jesus said unto her, thy brother shall rise again. She just asked Christ to do something. Follow this. We're at the end of it. Follow this. She asked him to do something. She said, if you would have been here, he wouldn't have died. But I know now that even so, what I ask you to do, you can still get it done. All she had to do was say, bring him back. But look at her limited thinking. Jesus said, she got it. That's what I was waiting for. Somebody got faith in it. That's right. You correct. Whatever you ask me to do, I'm going to do it. What is it you want? Jesus said unto her, thy brother will rise again. Look at what she said. Martha said unto him, I know he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. In other words, I believe he's going to rise again, but not right now because he's going to bring him. Everybody's going to rise again in the end. You told us that. I know that. So he's like, hold up, man. You just told me what it is you wanted. I tell you he's going to rise again, and you still don't believe it. You still think that there's a catch to it, that I'm limited in being able to do it right now. Martha said unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection. The last day is right now. I am the last day. I am the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. He trying to tell her, look, don't let your face slip now. Don't go with what you think. Because you don't know what you know. You thinking it's possible for him to come back then. I'm telling you what's possible right now. So don't get focused on what you think. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whatsoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Do you believe this? Is what he asked her. She said unto him, yea, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, number one. The Son of God, number two. Which come into this world, number three. And when she had said so, she went her way. The rest of the stuff you talking about, I don't believe that. That's what she did. Out of all that he just said about living and dying and being resurrected and never dying, she went back and said, I believe you the Christ, the Son of God, and I believe that. Holla. Because you off on some other stuff. He dead. Even then, her belief, her faith was not faith. It was presumption. I know that God, it's possibility. I know that it's possible for him to do some stuff.